Hallo og velkommen. Hello and welcome. This is going to be a lesson in Norwegian. And I have brought some cards for us to study from. And before we go through any of these, I have a bunch of the pink cards here, which is going to be the words. But as said before that, we need to go through these three things, which for some of you might be very different if you're coming from English, for example, or very different if you are watching from some Eastern country. Then everything is different, you know. But we got three letters. We basically have three letters that aren't in English, and they are called A, Ø, and Å. So to repeat it, it's A, Ø, Å. And we're going to go through and look at some words and some sentences that use these, just so you can have them as reference. I got some, I don't know what these are called again, tags? No. I got them here at least, so we can. Just gotta make sure that have to make sure that I actually put it on the screen. We got the Å, we got the A, and we have the Ø. So those are the three, two, I meant to say three additional letters that we have in Norwegian, and they also exist in Swedish and Danish as well. Probably more, maybe even Finnish. No, I don't think Finnish, but it could be in other European languages as well. I haven't actually looked into that yet, but we will focus on Norwegian today, since that's what I am speaking. So, are you ready for your first word? So we are going to start with probably the most predictable one, which is hello. So here's the word, hello. And you might be familiar with this. Hello. Hello. And in Norwegian, this is hei. It is quite close to, for example, if you say hi in English, just you have an E, you get sort of going from hi to hei is hi, hi. Put more pressure on I, kind of. So you can try to say it if you want, or just listen to me. Hi, hi, hi. So that's our first word. Now you'll have to excuse me. It's going to be a little bit blurry in the background there because I want it, you know, if I have to choose between the background or me being blurry, then it kind of has to be the background, you know. I don't want it to focus like back and forth too much. It might do a little bit, but we're going to keep it at me for the most part. So we are going to go with word number 2. The word that we can say when leaving someone, kind of when stopping a conversation, which is bye. Now in Norwegian this is actually 2 words and it doesn't translate directly. We say ha det, which a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but a lot think of as one word. They kind of think of it as H-A-D-E. That's how kind of you say it. Just ha det. Ha det. And this directly kind of means have it. But it's basically never used by itself, or not, no, in a sentence. I mean, it is used by itself, or if you want to say like goodbye, like bye is ha det, and goodbye would be ha det bra, like have it good is roughly the translation. Keeping with our theme about, you know, greeting people and also saying goodbye and stuff, we have thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Which is kind of, I have written something in parentheses here because it's quite often used, but it's like thank you is basically tack. Tack. But we often say tusen tack. Like the direct translation would be 1,000 thanks. But it's more the feeling of saying thank you so much, if that makes sense. That is tusen tack. Tusen tack. Having some trouble with placing it on there now. In the same theme, we have please. Please, which is I don't think there is a one word translation of please into Norwegian. We can also say please, but that's kind of more a loan word, you know. And I believe we are writing it with P-L-I-S. But I'm not sure about that, but I do know that for please, we are saying vær så snill, which is kind of please be kind is kind of the translation there. Please be kind. So like, this is a difficult one. I should have had some examples on how to use it, but can you pass me the controller? Vær så snill. It's sort of like, can you pass me the controller? Please be kind. But of course, the direct translation sounds weird, I know, but the same sentence in Norwegian is very valid. It's just how it is. Like, can you pass me the controller, please? And in Norwegian we can say, kan du gi meg fjernkontrollen, vær så snill? Which is, yeah, how it is. I'm sorry, I am having to put some of the tags on the letters. I'm not sure if it's even possible to read from here. Let's see, we can go for this one, I think, which is a lot easier one, which is yes. And it's well, it's quite straightforward. Yes is ja. I'm actually going to do these in pairs, kind of, because we have yes and no. And we have already looked at yes, which is ja, and no is nei. So that's how we can answer a question. It's like, do you like cats? Ja, nei. Basically, straight up yes, no. I have to be a little bit creative about how I'm going to use my remainder here. I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more. Okay. Let's actually go for most of the words, I think. We have good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So, this is going to maybe surprise you what it is. Maybe you didn't expect it, but this is very, very similar. Good morning is god morgen. But of course they're pronounced very, very different. Good is god. And if you can hear in English, we're saying good, stopping at the d. Good. Good. But in Norwegian we say god. It's just a o sound. God morgen. 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 I'm not sure if I'm maybe also taking up too much space here. Now maybe you can do a little bit of a guess on what this might be, at least the first word, because we had something very similar there. We have a good night. Good night, which is god natt. Same word, god, and the word for night is natt. Natt.
we're moving on to something I cannot start my morning without.
Maybe you are the same as I am, and you also need coffee. Coffee. It's like, how can I have a morning? How can I have a good morning without my coffee? Hvordan kan jeg ha en god morgen uten kaffe? It's very close as well, isn't it? Kaffe, coffee, kaffe.
And of course, to make coffee, we need
Water, boiled water, but for this lesson we're just sticking with the word water. Water. It is somewhat similar in Norwegian, but it's more different than the ones we have just gone through. So water is vann. 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 It's kind of close to the word one, like one in English, except more V sound. Vann. And now we're moving a little bit away from food-related stuff. We're going over to the word friend. Friend. And I chose this one basically because of the previous one we had, vann. As you can hear, the sound is vann, ah sound, vann. Friend is then. So if you are new to Norwegian, this might be very difficult because vann, then is very close. You could learn it eventually, but of course you can also think about which word it comes from, you know. Water, vann. Friend, then. Does that help? Maybe it does. And for those of you who have seen some of my previous videos, you know that I am studying Japanese, and I do that with a book. I actually like studying from books. I don't know if you do, but it requires very much more concentration, you know. But yeah, I have a Japanese book, and it's very, very similar in Norwegian. It's bok, but you can hear the difference in how it's pronounced. Book, bok, 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 bok. And earlier I asked about if you like cats, and I said yes and no. Well, let's go through the word for cat. This is also a very similar one. That's mostly how I picked my words and sentences, just to make it not too overwhelming, you know.
if I have more tags somewhere. I think they're called tags. But let's go for the next next word here.
Are you ready? So here we have something. Well, we basically use one word for. Well, no, that's not true. But you can actually forget that it says home here. We can use it like that, but we do tend to use another word. So just think about house. So house is hus. Hus. House. Hus. Hus.
So now we're going to go for the last word before we move over to some sentences. So this
Is the word forest. Forest. This is very different in Norwegian. So let's flip it over and see. Skog. This might be difficult to pronounce. Skog. Skog.
So, I have tons more, by the way. So, we're going to move over to sentences. So, we are going to start with something we have gone through. God morgen and kaffe. So we're going to make the sentence God morgen. Oh, let's see. I want to do it like this.
God morgen. Vill du ha kaffe?
Oh, this is difficult to hold all three.
Close enough. But now we're saying, good morning, would you like some coffee?
God morgen. Vill du ha kaffe?
Of course, we haven't gone through vill du ha, but we can't go through everything at once, you know. But now you just saw two of the words, or three words, I guess, in a sentence.
Let's see, I'm just trying to find out, can I place it like this maybe? God morgen. Vill du ha kaffe? And my head is in the way, but you're gonna have to deal with that. I don't know about you,
But I cannot live without water. I don't think anyone can, you know, but or I guess you could, depending on how much water is in whatever you drink. But yeah, I love sparkling water, so I drink a lot of that. But I do like just cold plain water as well.
Jeg liker vann. Jeg liker vann. Let's see if it's possible to hold all three. There we go. I like water. Jeg liker vann. Fingers a little bit in the way, but I like water. Jeg liker vann. Jeg liker. Oh, let's see. There we go. These panels I bought are made to be used like this, by the way. Sort of what I had in the back of my mind when making these. So let's go back to our trusty cat. But this time we're going to use the word cat in sort of the grammatical way where we're saying the cat, like that specific cat. And in English we are saying the cat. Like two words, you're prefixing the before the thing. The cat. But in Norwegian we say katten. So cat gets an ending, kind of. To get, like, the cat is katten. So maybe you can guess that the cat is now doing or being somewhere. Katten I. Katten I. And I means being in. So the cat is in somewhere. I huset. Let's see, can I hold it like this maybe? That seems decent enough. Katten I huset. The cat is in the house. Katten I huset. Just checking that I have my cards in order here, so I know that I am not messing up. You're learning, you know? Good, good. I have lost one of my cards, so this sentence doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay, now it makes sense. I had one of my cards over there, so now we got our sentence. So we're starting with the word for I. Jeg. I am
reading. Läser. To read is å läsa. And when you're doing it, you are reading. Läser. So I am reading.
Let's see, that's four here, so I think I gotta use both my hands. There we go. Jeg läser
En bok I skogen. Jeg läser en bok I skogen.
I am reading a book in the forest. Oh, let's see. Jeg läser. Jeg läser. I am reading a book
I skogen. In the forest.
See, I'm probably always going to be in the way of these cards and when we are done with them, but that's okay. So now we are going to go with
Vær så snill, which is please.
something with please and
Bok.
so we are going to say the sentence.
Vær så snill. Gi meg boken.
So
Please something the book. Gi meg is give me. So the whole translation is please give me the book. Vær så snill, gi meg boken. Vær så snill, gi meg boken.
vær så snill. Gi meg boken. So let's go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more words. Hope you're ready. So the first one is, well, it's actually related to time for the most part, but most people think about it kind of when it's dark outside, which is
Night. Not. So it's quite close, to be honest. Night is not.
Let's see, I don't wanna place it with the sentences. I think I'm gonna use it over. Well, I'm all the way off the camera now, but that's okay. We can have one more over there, it seems like. And we've gone through night, which is not. Now let's go with
Day. And
we have morning up there.
and as you know, if we say good night, it's a direct translation. Maybe we didn't use need the not, but at least we can say day, which is not this one because that's morning. So day is dog. Dog.
See if we can place it up with our words here. go. And as an ASMR creator, I am working a lot with sound. 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 And sound in Norwegian is lyd. Lyd. Let's place it here, I think. And we all have two eyes, but let's go for a word for one eye. Eye. So the word for eye is maybe difficult to pronounce, I'm not sure. Øye. So I believe this is the first. No, it's not. I guess we had Vær så snill, which uses the O. But this is the first word specifically we're learning that is using one of the Norwegian letters. Øye. Øye. Let's place it up here, roughly. And I also have something here. I have a hand. So I have an eye, we'll have two eyes, and I have two hands. And the word for hand is very, very similar, except we are using Norwegian letter O. Hand is hånd. So it's pronounced very, very differently. Hand, hånd. There's no... I think some dialects use the D, like hånd. But in general, we just say hånd. And when it is night, let's see, we have, where is it? There we go. When it is night, and it's very dark outside, and you might be able to spot some stars and the moon. Moon. And the word for moon is måne, which is also using the O. Måne. Måne. And if we are lucky with the weather, which sometimes happen in Norway, we might get some sun. I can actually see outside my window right now that it is actually a tiny bit sunny. And we call sun sol. 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 Let's put this one here. So it's a long lesson, I know, so there might be difficult to remember it, or I don't know if it helps at all, but we have the next word, which is chair. Chair, which is not something I'm using right now because I am recording this while standing, so I don't have a chair. Jeg har ikke en stol. Stol. Maybe it's a difficult word. Stol. And let's just go for one more weather-related one, which is wind. Wind. This is actually very similar in Norwegian. It is vind. And as you can hear, the D is not pronounced here either. It's vind. Now to finish off, we have 1, 2, 3 sentences. So we can place it, maybe it looks better right here, maybe. We're going with the sun first, and the word for day. So, sol and dag, day. So we are going to say the sun is shining today. Solen skinner I dag. Solen skinner I dag. See, we could place it. Yeah, I'll just do it here. Solen skinner I dag. And I wanted to keep it kind of similar in the questions. So I'm going with the word for I, and I want to talk about the moon and at night. So my sentence is, I can see the moon at night. Just gotta make sure that I can hold all of them up at once. There we go. Jeg ser månen om natten. Jeg ser månen om natten. I see the moon at night. Jeg ser månen om natten. I think you've done a very good job. So we're just going with one more quite short sentence. We're going to use vind, skog. And what we're going to say is, the wind is blowing in the forest. And how we say this is, vind blåser I skogen. Vind blåser I skogen. there we go. So I hope this has been fun for you. Maybe it's been a very relaxing experience. I don't know. I'm noticing that I am not good at teaching sort of half improvised. I just wrote down a lot of words and some sentences, and hopefully it's okay. It's certainly a longer video, at least. I hope you have been relaxing and having fun, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Ha det bra.